What's going on, everybody? As you can see, it's JP here, back with another video. I have the Honor 7X here. Now, it's been a long time since I've done a video, and I have had a lot of phones since my last video. A lot of them. Flagships, mid-range, budget phones, you name it. I've had them. As I've said once before, or a couple of times on some of my other videos, it's it's just hard for me to actually find the time to do a lot of these videos. And a lot of times too, by the time I'm able to do a video on a device, there's several other videos out. But I have had a lot of people reach out to me and tell me that they like my videos because they're straight to the point. Then again, I've had others that have told me that I talk too much. I've heard that, before in, other situations as well. But nonetheless, back to my routine. I wanted to do a video on the Honor 7X specifically because I did one on the 6X back in January. I liked the phone, but I wasn't too impressed with it. I liked the ZTE Blade V8 Pro better. Another reason why I'm doing this video as well for the Honor 7X is because a lot of my colleagues that I like to keep in touch with on YouTube haven't done a video to this phone yet. Like Devin and Flossie Carter, Magic Tech Reviews, Jay Will, My Project 13, and a lot of times they have your flagship phones, and I get those phones too, and like the Essential, the Moto Z2 Force, the Pixel 2 XL, the OnePlus 5T. I didn't have the Note 8 for some reason this time of the year. I do have an iPhone X. I also had a regular iPhone 8 as well. But anyway, I really wanted to touch on this Honor 7X. Gotta excuse me for a minute because this thing has some massive fingerprints all over it. It's not a good way to show it off. There we go. There we go. Let me tell y'all, I am thoroughly impressed with the Honor 7X. Thoroughly. My biggest complaint with the 6X to me was that the screen was washed out. The quality of the phone was great for $250. It was a little bit better of quality than what was found on the Blade V8 Pro, which was only $20 less. But everything else about the V8 Pro to me was just a better phone. Because even the Kirin 650 that the Honor 6X had didn't even have a gyroscope, whereas of course the Snapdragon 625 did. That was found in the Blade V8 Pro. But I am a fan of the Kirin processors because the Kirin 950, which was found in the Honor 8, was insane. I mean, that processor was just a monster. The Kirin 960 found in the Mate 10, or not the Mate 10, I'm sorry, the Mate 9 that was released in America back in January. The Kirin 960 was, dang near the equivalent to a Snapdragon 835 before the first Snapdragon 835 device even came out. Phones were still coming out with the 821 at the time because Samsung had that hold on those 835s. So the Kirins are definitely ahead of their time. The Kirin 970 that's going to be found in the Honor View 10 next month, as well as what's already found in the Honor, or not the Honor, but the Huawei Mate 10 and Mate 10 Pro is already the equivalent, or almost the equivalent, to the Snapdragon 845. Of course, to my understanding, the 845 is actually built on slightly better processes. So that's, it may not be the case this time around. But on here with the Honor 7X, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. The Kirin 659 actually takes care of one of my biggest complaints that the Honor 6X didn't have, and that's a gyroscope. This stuff does have a gyroscope. I've seen a lot of forums talking about how the 7X doesn't have the gyroscope. This has the gyroscope. And the screen is I don't know if you can really see it. I'm using an iPhone X to record this, but the lighting is just absolutely horrible. Then again, I'm not as good at this like My Project 13 is. He uses phones to do his recordings, and Jay Will uses them sometimes too. I think he uses the HTC U11. But man, let me tell you, the screen quality to me, which was my biggest gripe about the Honor 6X, the Honor 7X. I mean, this thing is leaps and bounds. Yeah, it is full HD still, but it is the full HD plus because it is an 18:9 ratio display. It's almost 6 inches, and I mean it's gorgeous, and the back of it is phenomenal. I mean it's just it's a beautiful phone. It really is. Excuse the fingerprint smudges. See if I can kind of wipe that back off a little bit there too. But I mean it's just an all around beautiful, beautiful device. Check out those dual cameras. They work great. Now this phone, it does already have a case. That one right there that I'm centered on right now, that clear gel TPU. This one is was part of the early birds gift that they included in a separate package. It's advertising that game, that Lords Mobile or something like that. But you already get a clear TPU one that comes with the phone. I did not know that, and I do prefer that one. Of course, you got your usual your charging brick and your charging cable. It is USB, micro USB. It's not Type C, as most people that are interested in this phone already know. That's really the only downer I can really think of. There's your quick start guide, your box. There's your SIM ejector tool. You know, just kind of giving you a layout of everything here. If we can close the box, I'll show you the back of it here. Just kind of gives you an overview of everything there. I mean, for $200, y'all, I'm telling you, I cannot think of a single gripe with this phone besides the fact that it does not use USB Type-C. I mean, I can go out right now and get a ZTE phone from Cricket for $70, if not less, or 80, something like that. It'll cost me like $2 or $3 to unlock it, and it has USB Type-C. So, you know, I think because even though it's still 2017, you know, this is really a phone for 2018. You know, Huawei or Honor, whatever you want to call them, they released it a month early because the 6X isn't even a year old yet. I suspect they did that because January they're expecting to release the actual Honor flagship, the View 10. I know it goes on sale overseas in India like on January 8th or January 9th, and it is supposed to come to the US within that same time frame. Huawei is also supposed to release the Mate 10 Pro on AT&T and possibly even Verizon. Of course, the View 10, you know, almost matches the Mate 10 Pro. It'll be available unlocked, much as this phone is. And of course, that'll probably also suffice for the fact that we did not get the Honor 8 successor this year, the Honor 9. I guess the Honor 8 just didn't do good enough for them to bring the Honor 9 here, which is just as well. I love the Honor 8, but it was too small, and the Honor 9 didn't change that. The Honor 8 Pro, however, was larger, and of course I'm sure that an Honor 9 Pro would follow eventually. But y'all, I'm gonna tell you, I'm all about my flagships, like a lot of my other colleagues. You know, your $700, $800, $900 phones, your $1,000 phones, but man, I cannot get over what Huawei did with this phone for $200. I don't know if that $200 is just an introductory price and it goes up after the early bird. It hasn't. It's still $199. But even if it went up to $250, like what the Honor 6X originally costed, man, this phone is worth $300. It's worth $400. I am dead serious. I mean, I can compare it to $400 phones. And this will come out on top. I mean, it's that good. I mean, it's just amazing. The Honor UI does have the app drawer, but it still kind of keeps the iOS esque style, you know, design, and you can actually change it back to EMUI's original setting where it doesn't have the app drawer. But I mean, this thing is just, I mean, it's fluid, it's fast. I can't believe it only has 3 gigs of RAM. I mean, the way the thing moves, I would think it had 4. Then again, I don't really think we're in a time just yet where 3 gigs of RAM isn't enough, to be honest. But if they were to bring the 4 gig model here, I may possibly, get rid of this to jump on that. I don't know. I mean, it kind of depends what else I have going on, because, I mean, it seems fine, honestly. But I mean, there's just, I mean, you know, it has the app twin capability, which I also thought was pretty cool. Alcatel had that on one of their versions of the Idol 5. Um, but y'all, sorry for the quality here; it's just terrible. But I mean, it's just, this phone is just very impressive, very impressive. Um, I just can't get over. I mean, $200. This phone does everything that 99.9% of the average user, even your power user, would need. This phone does it. There's not a single game that this phone cannot handle. Everything that's been thrown at it, it handles like a champion. The Kirin 659 is leaps and bounds over the 650 or 655, whatever it was that was found in the Honor 6X back in January. I don't even know why they even call it the Kirin 659. They should have just called it the 660 or 6, just 59 just is not, this thing is just, it's insane. The battery life is phenomenal. The screen is just absolutely gorgeous. Again, it is night and day over the Honor 6X. I found the Honor 6X's screen to be very washed out. I know a lot of people like that phone. I like the Blade V8 Pro more. A lot of people disagree with me because they thought the quality wasn't on par with the Honor 6X, just because the V8 Pro had that textured back. I thought it was equally as good in quality. It was just a different material, kind of like the difference between metal and glass. But I don't know. I don't see ZTE topping this in this price range. I would love to be proven wrong because I do love ZTE. So I would like to see what the V8, what the Blade V8 Pro successor, could be. Which I'm sure they'll have in January. Well, I mean, I wouldn't be too sure. They didn't have a successor to the Honor to the Axon 7 this year. So I don't know. But y'all, this phone, it's a win. I mean, it is a go. I don't know how to say it. I don't know how else to say it. 200, you're not gonna find a better phone even at 400. I mean, this phone is just, it's amazing. It's just, I just don't really know what else to say. Y'all have a good one. Hope y'all enjoy the video.